Black art fills in all of the pieces of history that you were not allowed to know. So I was at this really amazing art exhibit in Nashville last night that was all about the relationship between race and space, right? And I'll do a separate talk on that because I really want to show it to you. And it was mostly Black artists, and there were some really revolutionary pieces there that are so important right now. But first, let me get nerdy with you for a second, and I'll pop these amazing photos behind me so you have something to look at while I do that, okay? Because I need you to think about how we know stuff. Like in general, right? Like, how do we know what we know? In academia, that's called epistemology, right? And that's just the fancy way of saying the study of knowledge. Epistemology is examining sources, it's knowing how they were created, how they were selected, how they were preserved, and how you got hold of them, right? And then how you share and use those sources. Think of it like the supply chain of knowing stuff, right? Now, as you can imagine, right, in a racist society where race-based slavery was the norm for 400-ish years, that's this one, the supply chain doesn't equally serve white and Black people. So what does that mean? Well, when it comes to history, the supply chain looks like this, right? First, an event happens. Then someone records that event in some way, whether that's someone, a scribe scrawling on papyrus, or whether that's you recording something on your phone, right? And then someone else decides if that recording is important enough to save, right? And you could think of that as the supply chain bottleneck. Because who gets to decide, right? And what do they do about it? Every single act of saving a record costs you something, right? You either need a physical or a digital place to store it, and that comes with a lot of expenses, right? That means people only store the stuff long term that they think is important. And guess who was considered unimportant in history? Yeah, right, Black people. And guess who is in the position of getting to decide what gets stored? Yeah, not Black people. And that means the archives that we have now, right? The same ones that historians, journalists, educators use to learn about the past have these glaring gaps about stuff that was really important to Black people, right? Entire people and events have been erased from the historic record as if they never existed, living only in the memories and shared oral traditions of Black people. And that means if we want to know about Black history, we can't only use archives created by white people, right? That is bad epistemology, right? That's the equivalent of historical malpractice. And so it's why in my work I have to use oral histories, right? Just asking people about themselves, right? And archaeological analysis and knowledge produced by Black people, right? And that includes written works, it includes works of art, right? And it fills in those gaps that have been left by centuries of white knowledge production. So when it comes to Black art, what we have is people who are a living archive, sharing their understanding of complicated concepts with you in ways that are engaging and pull you in, right? If you consume art by Black artists, you move money toward Black artists, you push your spaces to include and center Black art, you are helping others who want to understand. And of course, there are people that don't want to and never will, and we don't talk about them because I'd like to keep this account.